Talk about an interesting evening. Here I thought this video was already live. I wanted to live stream. Um, the live stream did not happen tonight due to all those technical glitches I was having. It will run smoother next week. I will apologize first and foremost. I didn't know this wasn't even uh, done on my Google Plus page. Now that everything is back in sync, I have to start all over again. Oh my gosh, this is wild. It's been a week. It's been quite a week. I shall say this. First and foremost, it's been quite an interesting week. But if you don't know anything about me, my name is Shellie Palmer. I am a published author. I have written 4 books in an eight part poetry series of books, which is titled The Journey Collection. That uh, see, I'm stuttering. Boy, goodness gracious, what an interesting night already. Oh my gosh. Like I said, my name is Shellie Palmer. Anything can happen. Anything can happen on social media. First and foremost, I want to thank you for being here, even though I had to start all over again. I will be back in sync with everything next week. Next week will be a new week. Thank goodness everything will be new and updated and fresh next week. And I want to thank you all for coming in. First and foremost, if you aren't familiar with the very first season of The Life, Living, and Love of an Author, I basically discussed my books last year and last season, which was the very first season. I discussed my books. I discussed publishing, self-publishing, blogging, a number of things. This year, this season, it's going to be a little different. Like I said, I was supposed to have a live stream on YouTube instead of having this live broadcast, basically, through Google Plus Hangout. But I encourage my viewers to submit questions to my Facebook page at The Real Shellie Palmer. And every week, I will take those questions and I will combine them and put them into that episode for the night. And last season, it was on Thursday nights. This is a new season, new night, new time. So that's a little different from this season. I could say that first and foremost. And again, I am a published author. I am from Hartville, Ohio. I am from a small town that a lot of people aren't known for or know of, basically. But a lot of people know of the Canton, Akron area, as well as the Rootstown area. So I am basically located in the middle, the hub of those areas, basically. And so I'm a country girl at heart, and published my very first book, The Poetry Diaries, in 2013. It'll be 3 years this April since the release of that book. And it kind of transcended into a series of books, basically. And they're all Christian, inspirational related. There's, like I said, there is a Christian overtone to them. They have scriptures, they have testimonies and devotionals intertwined into these books, basically. And I released my very first novel on mental health in December of 2015. So basically, I'm an author. I do everything. I do the marketing, I do the advertising, I do the promoting, everything that you could think of. I do all of that. I don't have an agent. I don't have a publicist. Everything you see is basically who I am in a nutshell. that's who I am. I am, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, obviously, and just a number of social media outlets. Um, now that I've caught you up a little bit and getting back into this swing of things, I want to thank you for tuning in and watching me ramble and talk about everything else but me. I am not a kind of person who will talk about myself. I will talk about other people. I will talk about topics, issues, you know, things that we need to discuss but aren't being discussed, basically. And that's the whole gist of this series, or web series, basically. Like I said, next week we'll go back to the YouTube live stream where you can actually submit questions and talk to me there. Or, like I said, submit your questions that you have at my Facebook page, The Real Shellie Palmer, and those will go into each episode of this web series this season. So it will be in every week or in every other week episode. So everything that you see will be posted, updated, you name it. So some of the questions that I had for folks this evening that I had already asked, and I didn't know it wasn't live. Big mistake there. Why is Christianity attacked a lot in the media? It really is. That's a question I was asking. Why is Christianity attacked in the media that the way it is? That's a question I'd like to ask you. And there's also another question that I had for you folks. Is there an overabundance of religious views? When I think of religion and I think of Christianity, I think, okay, how is someone going to react to my questions? How are you going to answer those questions? That's always a burning question in my mind, is how are you going to answer that? My mind works very differently than the average person. So I am a bit of my own kind of normal. So just go with it, I guess. But those are my questions for you. You can ask me on Facebook, on Twitter, however you want to ask me, on Google Plus, basically. So since I am not on the live stream like I wanted to be tonight. But those are some questions to think about and possibly ask me. And you know, be truthful, be blunt about it. I don't hold any punches when it comes to asking questions. I am very bluntful and very honest when it comes to answering a question that someone asks. So don't hold back. Just ask me. You know, that's just who I am as a human being. So, but I do see a lot of people use Christianity as a crutch a lot, and overly expressed in social media and social media networking. I see that more now than I ever did. And I just kind of wonder what your views are on that and how you feel about it, because everybody has a different opinions on the topic or the subject. Basically, it can be a little tedious, you know, when it comes to asking questions on Christian and religious views, basically. Also, is there too little or too much of Christianity being used in social media? What are your thoughts on that? How would you answer that question? So I'm asking you the questions this evening, not the other way around. So, you know, take the time to think about it. And, you know, you don't have to answer me right away. But I do want to let you know that everything will be freely opened, discussed this season. We will be talking about mental health and anxiety issues, and where where the common ground is in that, because it is so glamorized in entertainment, and it's not. So we want to stop the stigma on what mental health is, and really come out and discuss it as a group, and not be afraid to talk about it. And I want to thank the Worry Games on Twitter, on my Twitter page, for being such a continued inspiration to me. Her blogs have been very inspiring, very truthful, very honest. And there's another young lady who deals with this as well on Instagram, who I've gotten to know. And it's just amazing, the people that come in contact with when it comes to discussing these issues and topics. We don't want to hear the fluff about it. We want the real facts and the real stories behind it. We're the ones that are dealing with this on a day-to-day basis. You know, I have issues with anxiety. I will admit to that, but we cannot feel afraid to be able to talk about it, and be honest with yourself about it, and just really find that peace that we all want, that, and just embrace it as best as we can. And I want to thank Demi Lovato too, because she is very, very proactive on mental health and raising awareness. In fact, she was acknowledged in my debut novel. So it goes to show that we all have our issues, but some of us are so afraid to talk about them, and we're not sure how to go about talking about it. And it can make us feel inferior, and and not very positive. But there's always a positive light when it comes to talking about it, because we're connecting to someone who may be going through it. That's what we're going to be talking about this season, and talking about how celebrities are getting these book deals and saying that they're authors. Are they the ones actually writing the book? If you ever noticed, here's a prime example. Caitlyn Jenner just received a book deal. Now, will she or he basically sit down and write this book, or will he or she have someone else write it? That's the whole problem with being an author. If you're an author, you write the whole thing yourself. You don't have someone else write it for you. Okay? I am not the richest person in the world. I don't have a publicist. I don't have an agent. I don't have all these people around me helping me with these. I do this independently and solely on my own. I market, I promote, I advertise. I include writing the material and the book itself before it even goes to print. So if you are a celebrity and already have that status attached to you, you can't say you're truly an author unless you actually sit down and write the material yourself. And I'm sure quite a few people will see this and say, oh, she's so wrong. She's so wrong. Well, I'm not wrong about that. I'm not wrong about it. I know what I'm saying. Real authors know what I'm saying. And I appreciate the real writers in this business. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate you taking the time to come in and view this evening, even though it's in this format and not in the format that we're supposed to be in. But rest assured, next week's episode will be a lot better and more improved. And I'm looking forward to coming back and discussing even more next week. So go ahead. I encourage you all to go to The Real Shellie Palmer on my Facebook page. Submit your questions, and they will be put in the event page every week to be discussed and to be viewed and to be talked about We want to come together. We want to unite together and really talk about the issues and really get into the thick of it and really express how we truly feel. We don't want to feel burdened and contained. We want to be untamed. And I'm very untamed and very fearless these days when it comes to discussing issues and topics such as mental health and such as Christianity and whatever else it may be. We have an opinion and we have our own views, but together we can be something and do something with ourselves. That's what it's about, folks. And I appreciate you coming in and talking with me this evening. So if you have any questions or need some advice, I'm always willing and able to talk to you whenever possible. So um a little more, you can follow me on Instagram, Shellie Palmer, and on Twitter _Shellie_Palmer. That is my author's account. And here on YouTube, subscribe, view, tune in. If you didn't see last season's web series, go back in and watch last season's web series and see I'm rambling and talking nonsense right now. I think. I don't know. But as Ellen always says, be kind. That's all we want in this world is some kindness and treat people the way they should be treated, with respect. If you give, you get it. So I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight, even though it was under certain circumstances. And I'll see you all next week, and have a wonderful week.